you don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look at better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheap again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the fourth part of What If Naruto Enters dannyphantom verse. Special note, this fanfic is written in a masterpiece of pyrohelixdrago, KFB, Anime 87 and Spike Tanked Master 300. On FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the authors too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. With Danny. Naruto, Danny said, screaming out as he crashed through the portal, and when he did she sealed it and saw Naruto was losing both blood and ectoplasm, dropping the sword, not seeing it land next to Naruto's hand, the sword reacting to being in close proximity. Few minutes later. We need to give him a transfusion, Desiree said as Danny called everyone, and they were all horrified by what they saw when they saw Naruto's state. I never thought he could look so weak, so vulnerable, Tucker said, as this was not a state he expected to see Naruto in. Whose BLD do we use? Spectra asked, assuming she was out having complete ecto-based BLD. Mine, Danny said as she felt entirely responsible for this. Okay, lay down, Jazz said as she believed she had the steadier hands. Get off your ass, Kit, you're tougher than some knight. Kurama said to him as he was next to Naruto. What's this asshole look like? He asked Danny, fully intending to kill him in case Naruto died. Like this, Sam said as she showed them her book. Ghosts grow stronger with time, and activity may dull their power, but they do keep their power, Desiree said as she lost power whenever she was sealed. What the? It says here he got defeated when somebody put his sword in a pumpkin. Valerie asked, examining the book. We're not doing that yet till I get a piece of him or Naruto gets a rematch. He won't take the easy way, Kurama said to them seriously. This is all my fault with that stupid fucking haunted house, Danny said angrily, the ring's eyes glowing again. Oh please, who effing cares? He knew what he was walking into, you black and white-haired idiot, Kurama said as he hated self-blame when it served no purpose. When'd you get a ring? Valerie asked as her scanners were picking up some weird readings from it. From the castle. Fright douche said it belongs to the king of ghosts, Danny said to them. Get rid of it, not later, not tomorrow, right now, Ember said, knowing exactly who that was. Wait, there really is a king of ghosts? Danny asked. Not even a joke, Spectra said as she felt incredible fear hearing that name. Pariah Dark is the strongest ghost to ever be born. Together with his crown of fire and the ring of rage, he is unstoppable, Desiree said as in her 1,000 years she knew the name of the Ghost King well, and it was not something to throw around lightly. If he's so scary, then where is he? Danny asked curiously. He was defeated by a group of ancient ghosts who sealed him within the sarcophagus of forever sleep. The only way to free him is with a key that has been lost for ages. Nobody wants to free him as nobody can stand up to his power. Only a fool would free Pariah, Desiree said. It is said that if one defeats Pariah in battle, he or she becomes the next ruler of the Ghost Zone, Ember said to Danny and the others as they didn't know all the rules and history around the Ghost King. Bring it on, Naruto said as he got up looking very pale. You lost to the Fright Knight, you have 0 chances. Spectra said to him, Pariah can do to him what Fright Knight did to you. You're not helping your case, if anything you're adding fuel to the fire, Kurama said as he could feel Naruto's excitement. Naruto got up but was pushed down by everyone back on the table. Oh no, you don't, you have 2 broken hands, 2 cracked ribs and a bruised spleen. Your ass is staying put until you heal, Jazz said as she had Tucker and Valerie do scans on him. Fine, Naruto said as Danny was giving him the puppy dog eyes. You pansy, how the fuck do you lose to that walking pile of tin? Kurama said angrily. Keep on talking and I'll stop making those biscuits for you, Naruto said as he was once again feeling sore. Few hours later. Oh shit, Naruto said as something was banging against the closed shield doors of the ghost portal. Two black hands burst from it and begin forcibly opening the portal. Round got him too, Naruto said happily as the Fright Knight opened the closed portal doors. Naruto charged at him only to get backhanded. My sword is close, Fright Knight said to himself. I made it my chew toy beach, Kurama said as he charged at the armored ghost. Stupid mutt, Fright Knight said as he blasted Kurama against a wall. Come to me, my soul shredder, he said, putting his hand out as the sword began to slowly move in his direction before flying to his hand. If you could have done that, then why the hell didn't you in the beginning? Naruto asked him curiously. I forgot I could do that, Fright Knight said to Naruto. I swear Naruto and Kurama thought a little embarrassed by their foe. Screw this, trick or treating starts in 2 hours, and I want candy, Naruto said, taking out his hilt and his black sword came. A duel of blades, you must truly wish to die, Fright Knight asked him. No, he's not, Kurama said as he wrapped Fright Knight with his tails. Naruto charged and slashed Fright Knight's hands, making him shout in pain as his sword fell to the ground along with his hands themselves. Your lucky ghosts can heal, Fright Knight said as he regrew his hands. Yeah, Naruto said as he took Fright Knight's sword and put it through a pumpkin, sealing him in it just as he was before. That didn't seem very honorable, Kurama said to him. Who cares, as long as I beat his ass, Naruto said, seeing Fright Knight's sliced hands turn into ectoplasm. Now let's go get some candy, he said as he looked at the sword. I'm not ready yet, but I will be, and we will have our rematch, he thought, walking away, intending to return the sword to its rightful place after the night. Few minutes later. How are you still standing? Sam asked as she left him for a few moments and saw that the lab was trashed. Because I'm me, Naruto said simply. You better kick his ass next time around, Naruto, not even as a joke. I won't have a weak host, Kurama said to him, knowing Naruto. You're out of me, so I don't think I'm your host anymore, Naruto said to him. I'm still bound to your ass, Kurama said as he could re-engage with Naruto whenever. Yeah, well, I'm still tough. That guy had more experience and strength than even Vlad, Naruto said to him. He has centuries on his belt, Naruto, Sam said as experience counted for a lot. I know, Naruto said to her. I want candy, Kurama said as they then left as they wanted as much candy as possible. 20 minutes late. Chocolate, Kurama said as he was scaring little kids and stealing their candy. Do you have any self-control? Naruto asked Kurama as he dropped 8 of his tails down and raised the 5th as a way of flipping Naruto off. He sounds like a mental patient, Sam said as whenever Kurama did that she struggled to restrain her laughter. Get back here and stop stealing kids' candy, Naruto said to the fox who still flipped him off with his tails. Do that one more time and I'm never making food for you ever again, he said. Kurama immediately stopped and dropped the candy he took from the kids. I can't believe he watches SpongeBob, Sam said, making Kurama freeze and Naruto look at her curiously. What? Naruto asked with a smile at Kurama. Remember the episode with the crazy guy chasing them as they tried to sell the chocolate? Sam said, pulling out her phone, showing him the clip. You try finding something to do when you leave me alone at the house all day, Kurama said in embarrassment. I'll laugh at you later, but first go and return all the candy you took from those kids, Naruto said. But now, Naruto said, sounding like a parent being firm with their child. Okay, Kurama said, giving up. And if I find any one of those stolen candies with you, no biscuits for a month, Naruto said. Okay, geez, I'm going, Kurama said begrudgingly. Few hours later. I feel like that was a rip-off. What kid wants something healthy, Naruto said as Sam and him donated a lot of their candy, albeit Sam's being the healthy and good for you kind. True, but somebody will eat 'em, right? Sam asked him curiously. Well, at least it was the healthy stuff that tastes good, right? Naruto said to her. You have to show me how you managed to fill a pillowcase thing full of candy. Your donation barely made a dent in your candy, Sam said to him. I got mad skills, baby, Naruto said as he applied a storage seal inside. I'm sure you do, Sam said with a small blush. Naruto chuckled as he put his arm around her as they walked back to Danny's house. Few minutes later. Okay, let's check. Who got the most candy? Tucker said. Naruto, everyone said. Wah, Tucker was saying till Naruto turned his pillowcase upside down and candy poured out. Come on, Tuck, he always gets the most candy. Danny said as Naruto did the same last year. Well, Eve here gave the orphans some of the more healthy variety candy. Naruto said. If she's Eve, does that make you Adam? Danny asked as Sam blushed but made an apple appear. Would you like a taste of my forbidden fruit? Sam asked Naruto with a smirk as she took a bite of the apple. Anytime, baby, Naruto said. Am I the only single person on the team? Tucker asked sadly. Tucker, just stop trying to pick up every woman you see. Girls find it a little off-putting when you ask every person you see out, Naruto said to him. Now let's see who's got the best candy. Name something you all got, Valerie said. Full-sized crunch bars with me, Naruto said with a smirk. I got 3 giant Reese cups with Reese's Pieces in them, Danny said happily. Hershey bars with Reese's Pieces in them, Star said with a smirk. King-sized 3 Musketeers for me, Valerie said. I got some Milky Ways, Tucker said. King-sized Twix, Paulina said. I got some cookies and cream Hershey's, Jazz said. Queen-sized Kit Kats, Ember said with a smirk. I got some Snickers, Sam said. I got a York Patty, Desiree said. I got Skittles, Kurama said. Kyujo got a bone, Valerie said, rubbing the dog's head. Where the hell did he get a bone? Naruto asked curiously as the dog was nibbling on a bone 3 times his size. I can't remember, Valerie said with a chuckle as Kyujo growled at them as they looked at him as if he thought they'd take his bone. Ah, who cares? Naruto said as he certainly didn't. We beat the night. I got a good grade from Lancer, and we got sick-ass candy. Best Halloween ever, Danny said. Later, Sam's room. Hello, Naruto, Sam said in a skimpy dress made from vines that looked like a crop top and a skirt. Sam, Naruto said. Don't worry, it's all me this time, Sam said to him, pressing herself against him. Guess you weren't lying about your feelings when you told me during your little craze the first time, Naruto said to her. Yep, so let me take care of you, Sam said, grabbing his. Naruto smiled as he went intangible and Sam following his lead. Come with me, Sam said as she pulled him to a nearby room that was a little bright in color. This is my parents' room, don't worry, my mom's somewhere else and my dad is out of town, she said to him as she pulled him to the bed and got him on his back. Sam got on top of him and began making out with him. His hands roamed her body. Naruto began squeezing her. Do you like my as handsome? Sam asked as she parted from their kiss. Don't stop, Sam said, and soon began screaming in pleasure as her body suddenly gave into Naruto's touch. I have a clone always charging Sage Chakra in a seal, Naruto said, as he kept one in case of an emergency. Sam, how bad do you want it? He asked her teasingly. More than anything, Sam said as she began panting in lust. Then I should give it to you, Naruto said as he then thrust it into her. Ah, Sam said, screaming out, feeling more pleasure than pain despite Naruto destroying her. Naruto pulled her into another make-out session as he began round 2. Naruto was showing her his real beast and pouring all into her. I'll be right back, Sam said as she cleaned herself off as she left the room. Hello, mother, she said as she grabbed her mother's dress from the floor where she was touching herself. Her mother had low F-cup melons, curvy body, and large round ass. Samantha Pamela Manson was saying till her daughter pressed her against the wall. Sam gathered some juices off her body and forced it down her mother's throat. I've seen you around the house, you dirty baddie, she said as her mother soon began to moan from the taste of Naruto's juice. You like being a dirty girl, I've seen it. You may like dressing all prim and proper, but you want to be soiled, she said as she had walked in on her mom touching herself many times, never letting her know she was there. Why, yay, Pamela said as her daughter began touching her. Now you are gonna keep quiet about this, and when me and Naruto leave you can go to sleep lying in our juices, Sam said, seeing her mother shiver. You remind me of me when I was your age, Pamela said to her. Please, I may be slutty, but I'm not a dirty little beach like you, so go to bed, mother, and maybe after I've trained you, you can get ride by my handsome stud, Sam said to her mother with a grin. Sometimes I wonder why I ever got with your father. I was a real baddie girl back in my teenage years, and I was goth," Pamela said, making her daughter's eyes widen in surprise. "We are gonna spend more time together," Sam said as she slapped her mother's ass. "Yeah, we are," Pamela said before pulling her daughter into a kiss. "Now go have fun," she said with a wink. Slot Sam thought, then grinned, thinking about how she'll destroy her mother's mind when she got the chance and how her mother was gonna be when Naruto got his hands on her. Few days later. "Hey girlfriend," Ember said to Kitty as she began to stir. "Ember, what the hell happened to you?" Kitty asked until Ember brought a mirror to her. "The fuck happened to me?" she asked as she looked like she did when she died. "Short version, you're a half-a now bestie," Ember said as she knew Kitty knew the term as they listened to all the gossip in the ghost zone. "How?" Kitty asked in surprise. "Again, short version, seg blonde blue eyes brought you back. He's the son of the Shinigami," Ember said to her. "Cool, so where's Johnny?" Kitty asked Ember curiously. "Guess," Ember said to her plainly. "Well, time to make his ass jealous," Kitty said, wanting to give Johnny a taste of his own medicine. "Well, try him," Ember said with a smirk as she got Naruto to posse on a motorcycle. "Oh hello handsome," Kitty said, thinking he was hot. Few months later. "What water park opens in the spring?" Sam asked as they all went to Amity's water park. "Ours, vampire," Danny said as Sam was doing her goth thing wearing a black cape and all. "You do know you'll fry right, dark colors attract sunlight, while light colors do the opposite," Naruto said as he could tell Sam was roasting. "He's right, Sam, seriously lose the cape otherwise you'll get heat stroke," Kitty said as it was a reason why she wore bright colored clothing. "Gah, who let Kujo out?" Naruto asked as he saw the dog being chased by the water park's security. "My bad, figured he'd like some fresh air instead of being cooped up inside all day," Valerie said as the dog was having fun. "Well, someone get him before he goes giant on somebody," Naruto said as he preferred not to have Kujo reveal himself. Suddenly screaming was heard. "Too late," Tucker said. "No, they ain't screaming cause of him," Danny said as Kujo was wrestling with a shadow. "Johnny," Kitty said, knowing that shadow better than anyone. "Hey, tall, dark and formless," Naruto said, glaring at the shadow monster. "Pick on someone your own type," he said as his shadow began glowing before red eyes came from it. "Sick he said before shadow took a form and tackled Johnny's shadow. No, I can do better than that," he said before whistling as he called his shadow back. Naruto grins as his shadow began forming around him and he turned completely black. In the distance. "Should we be worried?" Desiree asked Spectra as they were watching from the distance. "No clue, we haven't seen him do much," Spectra said as Naruto's shadow powers were at a powerful degree as he seemed to have a form similar to her own and had the ability to have his shadow separate from him. "The shadow element is an enigma. What are the limits?" Desiree asked as she was very curious to the element. "Like I said before, no clue, as the few who've had it have all been unique, but shadows are always weak against light," Spectra said, as whenever she was in her shadowy form, she preferred using it at night than the day. With Naruto. "This is very hot to watch," Kitty said as Johnny's shadow was the only thing about him that was scary as the shadow was invulnerable to physical attacks. "You're telling me," Ember said as the shadow was running away, becoming a shadow in the ground, Naruto following his lead. The shadow then was shot out of the ground as Naruto came out of it grinning at him wickedly. "Ugh, I'm all for darkness. But should we be worried?" Sam said as Naruto was acting very violent and was unleashing a lot of barbaric fury, which was honestly turning her on. Naruto laughed as he gathered red energy in a ball before tossing it up, causing it to rain energy blasts as the shadow tried to dodge them but was eventually hit. With Spectra. "He's bending the shadows around him, basically manipulating their principles," Spectra said as Naruto wasn't just manipulating his shadow but the shadows around him. "He's getting stronger," Desiree said as Naruto's arsenal of abilities seemed to be growing at an astounding rate along with his strength. "Well, considering who his father is, adoptive or otherwise, it makes a lot of sense," Spectra said as Naruto was growing increasingly stronger ever since his fight with Fright Knight. With the others. I'm surprised it took Johnny months to come do this, Kitty said, as she honestly thought about Johnny less and enjoyed having actual friends. Well, I think he finally got tired of being denied, Ember said, as she was surprised Kitty ever went out with Johnny. They watched as Naruto made blades of pure shadows before launching them at the shadow. The shadow groaned as it fell into the water, becoming liquidized. Tell your owner if he comes back he's dead, Naruto said to the shadow as he made it go down the drain with the water. Okay, he's gone. You can de-shadow now, Valerie said. I don't know, I kinda like it, Sam said, thinking he was incredibly hot like this. Ditto, Kitty said in agreement. Yeah, I like this, Naruto said with a grin. Naruto, Danny said firmly as she gave him a look. Fine buzzkill, Naruto said as he de-shadowed. Few days later at action. These things are insane, Kitty said as she saw his motorcycles and cars. Gets better, kitty cat, Naruto said to her as Kitty had been working here for a while as she was a decent mechanic. Better, Kitty said. These vehicles have their own things for our powers. They change with us as we go ghost. So far, I've only got ones for me. Now I need some for the others, Naruto said as he had been intending to give the others some form of transportation. Like Ghost Rider, Kitty asked with a small laugh. First one was alright. Second was a bit crazy but cool, Naruto said as he was making the tech adaptable to the others' ecto energy. Cool, Kitty said as that sounded very cool. So are you ready? Naruto asked her as she gave him a look. For what? Kitty asked Naruto curiously. Our drive, we got motorcycles, and it seems like a nice day for a ride, Naruto said as he brought her over to two tarped motorcycles, and when he took it off it revealed a BMW S1000RR and a Kawasaki Ninja H2. Ah, you got me my own bike, Kitty said in surprise. Yep, a biker girl needs a bike, right? Naruto said as she took the BMW and drove out of a secret exit entrance he recently installed. Kitty followed Naruto as they began driving into the woods. Where are we going? Kitty asked him as she drove beside him. If I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise, Naruto said to her as he sped ahead of her. The two parked in a clearing as Naruto brought her to a blanket that was laying on the ground with a picnic basket on it. Ah, for me? Kitty said in surprise. Figured we could enjoy a picnic together, Naruto said. What's the occasion? Kitty asked curiously. Well, I figured with Johnny in town, we could really make him jealous, Naruto said to her as he pulled her into a kiss. Kitty moaned and melted into the kiss as they fell back onto the blanket. He's such a good kisser, she thought, as with Johnny, it was always forceful. With Naruto, it was passionate, kind, warm, and inviting. Naruto rubbed her waist as she laid on top of him. Ah, this is so romantic, Kitty said as she laid her head on his chest, enjoying the small things like the birds chirping, the gentle breeze, and Naruto's strong but gentle heartbeat. Then suddenly the roar of a motorcycle filled the air. Hey, get your stinking hands off my girl, punk, Johnny said as he arrived on his motorcycle. Yeah, try this, Naruto said as he created sharp, shadowy tendrils that stabbed Johnny in certain spots. Babe, come on, help your man out, Johnny said as Kitty always folded at this point. Not this time, Johnny, Kitty said as Johnny had been gone for months, and in that time she bonded with the others and enjoyed her time here. Come on, baby, I can be better, Johnny said. That's what you said last time and the time before that. I like it here, and I'm Naruto's girl now, Kitty said as she rested her head on his chest. Naruto laughed and pulled back his tendrils as Johnny lightly bled as Naruto didn't stab him too deep. You'll be back, Johnny said as he went to his bike. Enjoy being a side piece, he said, riding away and into a portal into the ghost zone. He can ride in and out of the ghost zone? Naruto asked Kitty. He stole some tech from Danny's parents' lab and added it to his bike, Kitty said as she saw him do it when she was trapped between realms. That'd be good tech to add to the Spectre Speeder, Naruto said, as it would provide a quick escape if necessary. And probably the cars and bikes you're teching up for the others, Kitty said, as having more than one vehicle like that is better than having just one. True. Now where were we? Naruto said as they continued to make out for about a few hours. Few days later. Naruto was staring at his portal in the basement as he felt a small disturbance. What's happening, he thought, as his senses human and ghost were on edge. He looks behind him as Kyujo began growling, as did Kurama. Something's coming, Kurama said as he could feel many approach the portal. Suddenly claw-like tears opened in front of them as a werewolf-like ghost marched through. Kyujo barked and snarled at the ghost. Kaviataida, the wolf said to the dog, silencing him. Was that Spanish? Kurama asked Naruto, as Naruto was multilingual. Esperanto, Naruto said as Shinigami taught him many languages and he brushed up on his skills when Tucker spoke it. Suddenly the werewolf began screaming as the collar it was wearing began electrocuting him. Walker, Naruto said as he knew who was using the collar based on the wolf's clothing. I told you, Wolf, we can't touch him, Walker said as he came through the portal. The werewolf, now known as Wolf, kept screaming as he fell to his knees. Now get back to work, Walker said angrily. Leave him alone, Naruto said to him, and you're trespassing. That's against the rules, he said with a smirk. I'm not after you, I'm after the other escapees from my prison, Walker said. You want Danny and Valerie? Wow, Walker, how desperate to die are you? Not as much as all of you will be, Wolf, Walker said as Wolf made a portal by slashing the air with his claws. There's multiple types of prisons, kid. I can't lock you up in the ghost zone, but nothing says anything about here, he said as he walked through Wolf's portal as he drags Wolf with him. Great, Walker and his goon squad are loose in Amity. What's next? Naruto asked to no one in particular. Next day at school. Ugh, this guy, Naruto said as the mayor was at their school. Seriously, he's so corrupt, Sam said as she hated corrupt government officials. He's just here to make himself look good, and because we're future voters, Valerie said as they'd be able to vote. Everyone looked as Danny shivered a little. How are you cold? Sam said as the room had a strong AC on due to it being very hot. She may be awakening a new power. From what I've seen from her reading, she has an ice core, Naruto said to her. Ice core? Danny asked curiously. Certain ghosts have elemental cores. Paulina and Ember have fire. Tucker and Star have lightning. Sam has earth plant. Me, I have multiple cores. I must have gotten ice from your blood transfusion, same as Jazz, Naruto said. Sucks I don't have one, Valerie said as she wished she did. Preach, girlfriend, Kitty said as she was lacking an element as well. I don't know about that. I think you two do have elements, you just haven't awakened them yet, Naruto said as it could take ghosts years before they tapped into their elements. What element do you think I have then? Valerie asked him. Yeah, Kitty said. Kitty's, I think, may involve light, considering hers seemed to be the opposite of Johnny's. You could even possibly have good luck powers, as Johnny's shadow deals with bad luck, Naruto said as he did tests on Kitty to see what she could do. And mine? Valerie asked him. I think you'll have a water core, Naruto said as it was a rare element in the ghost zone and a bit strange given Valerie has tech powers. Now I will turn this over to Principal Uzumaki, who has some words to share with you, Mayor Montez said to the students. Still can't believe that's your mother's maiden name, Ember said as she used the name for her identity. Join the club, cuz Kitty said as she was officially under the name Catherine Uzumaki. Now I know you all are a bit scared of these ghost attacks, but do not worry. I have spoken with Action Labs to give the school a ghost shield to keep you all safe. Some defense weapons here and there, but I believe that our heroes will continue to protect us, Desiree said, sending Naruto and the others a small smile. Did you get paid like at all? Tucker asked him. Nope, all pro bono, and thankfully didn't cost much since it's solar powered, Naruto said as he liked to be green. Suddenly all of their ghost senses went off. Not now, they all said in annoyance. The entire hall looked up as Wolf dropped from the ceiling and howled, sending everyone running. Tucker, I need you, buddy, Naruto said as he got close to Wolf and restrained him. Foru demai, Wolf said as he tried to break free. Malstraku, nai provas forgi vin de tiu kalumo, Naruto said in Esperanto. Tucker began hacking into the collar and was sent flying as he tripped something when he finished. Hands off our asset, Bullet said, flying into the room. You think you're so smart, I don't know your plan. You're trying to ruin all of our cred as you possess people to make us look bad," Naruto said as he saw people's eyes turn red, a clear sign of possession. Wolf gasped as his collar fell off of his neck. "My liberas," he shouted in joy as he ran out of the room. "Oh no you don't," Bullet said until Naruto grabbed him by his neck. "Shadow, get those goons out of those people." Naruto told his shadow, who did what it was told. "You're gonna give Walker a message. If you F with one of us, you F with all of us," he said angrily. One of the goons of Walker's was charging at him until he got hit with something that sucked him into what appeared to be a portal. "Oh shit," Danny and Jazz said as they saw their mother and father with heavy loaded gun. "And you said a portable ghost portal blaster was a stupid idea," Maddie said as she shot another ghost. "Okay, you were right," Jack said as he shot from his heavy-duty blaster. Danny shouted in pain as Jack got her with a shot. "Danny!" Jazz shouted, seeing her sister was shot down. "Danny?" Maddie thought as she heard her daughter yell out her other daughter's name and scanned the room looking for her daughters. "Got you now, ghost kid," Jack said, pointing a weapon at the downed Danny. Snarling was heard as Wolf charged into the room with Kujo as they tackled Jack to the ground. "Kuru, Mayaj Amakaj," Wolf said as he made a portal and grabbed Danny and escaped with her and Kujo as everyone else turned intangible and fled. "Why her and not us?" Tucker asked as Wolf disappeared. "Because she was the one in the most danger," Naruto said as animals, mostly dogs, were loyal and protective. "Question it later, let's go," Ember said as they all phased out of the room. Few hours later. "Oh," Danny said as she whined as she felt her bandaged chest. "Be glad this wish was simple," Desiree said as Naruto called her over to treat Danny as she was gaining more and more control of her wishes. "Why'd he come back?" Valerie asked, seeing the sleeping, talking bipedal wolf in the corner with Kujo on top of him as they lied down. "Mini pavis lassie vin competigi," Bullet Wolf said to them. "Can somebody make a translator for him or something?" Sam asked. "Yeah, tried that," Tucker said as he retrofitted Wolf's collar and removed the lock and shock technology, but Wolf growled at him in a way that said, "Come any closer with that and I'll rip your arms off." Super strength, enhanced agility, claws that can open portals to other locations and to the ghost zone, enhanced senses, and a sonic howlbark? What exactly is this guy? Paulina asked curiously. Wolf's Walker's tracker. He'd use him to hunt down ghosts that got away, Spectra said as she was one of the few ghosts to not be put in Walker's jail. Ni Lao Electo, Wolf said angrily. He said, "Not by choice," Naruto said, translating for Wolf. "So what's Walker got on you, big guy?" Star asked Wolf. Li promzes, ki li for prenos la coloman. See my helpus lin trovi kaj recapti Danny. Valerie kaj Tucker, Wolf said, looking at Danny, Valerie and Tucker as he said their names. "Okay, hold on, I'm not doing this," Naruto said as he grabbed some tools, a blowtorch and a hammer, and made a necklace for Wolf, which he put on the animal ghost. "What are you doing to me?" Wolf asked in English. Translator, "I'm not being your back and forth speaker, dude," Naruto said as he didn't like the go-between. "Kujo we could keep, but how are we gonna hide him? He's a werewolf," Star said as the furry giant ball of fuzz wasn't easy to hide. "True, this is gonna be a challenge," Naruto said, scratching the back of his head. "And if we make him a halfa, just what is that gonna do? Make him half human werewolf and half ghost werewolf?" Sam asked curiously. "Not needed," Naruto said as he was sure Wolf liked himself. "Then how is he gonna stay here? Ghost tracking equipment, remember? Besides, I don't think Kujo is gonna let him go," Valerie said as Kujo seemed to like Wolf. Kujo was currently on Wolf's shoulder, nuzzling into Wolf's fur. "I think I can whip something up to hide him from Danny's parents' tracking tech," Naruto said as he made a giant collar for Kujo for when he was in his giant dog form, and it had the same tech he put in Kujo's current collar. "And I'm guessing you know how to hide well, huh, big guy?" Jazz asked Wolf, getting a nod in return. "Okay, Walker's trying to ruin our reputations as heroes. He's trying to overshadow people so we can be seen fighting them to make us look bad," Naruto said to them as Walker was aiming for popular people in every type. "So he's gonna use the mayor, that's one popular guy," Paulina said. One of them, we need to take down Walker and his goons, Naruto said. Wolf grinned as he extended his claws, eager to take down Walker. What are these claws made of? Paulina asked, as those claws seemed capable to do a lot. If they weren't so long, I'd want nails like that. Maybe, Naruto said as he looked at Wolf's claws and thought of a new invention. I'm healed and ready, let's get Walker, Danny said, wanting a rematch against the colorless ghost. Later. What the F, Danny said, as there were people in her house from school, mainly Dash and his cronies. Oh Lord, Jazz said as she heard them all sing. Few minutes later. You touch my family, and I'll kill you, Danny said to Dash, knowing Walker was overshadowing him. Can't kill a ghost kid, Walker said to her. Let's test that theory, Danny said as her eyes went green. Please touch me and my men will attack your family, Walker said to her, smiling smugly. And I'll end you myself, Walker, Naruto said as Jazz called him immediately when she had the chance. We'll see, boy, Walker said to him. Just so you know, the moment the chance arrives, I'll rip you out of that body and let Wolf rip you to pieces. So that's where the mutt went, Walker said, mumbling under his breath. Touch one hair on my friends' heads and you'll be sorry. Now get out of here, Naruto said as his hand glowed as he placed it on Dash's chest, blasting Walker out of him. That's it, Walker said as he tackled Naruto through the wall as they both went intangible. You come to my home and attack my friends, any of those reasons alone calls for me to beat you to death, Naruto said to him as they punched each other in the face. Who cares, you half-breed Shinigami bastard, Walker said angrily. What'd you just call me? Naruto said in a low voice. You heard me, punk. You think you're so tough hiding behind Daddy's name, but Daddy's not here to save you, you bastard. I bet your birth parents didn't even care about you, so they just gave you to the Shinigami as a form of sacrifice to save themselves, and the death god just took pity on you, Walker said, smirking as he glared at Naruto. Nobody insults my family, Naruto shouted furiously, tackling Walker onto the street. Struck a nerve, did I? Walker said, still smirking. The Shinigami can do many things, and yet he chooses not to give you the family he could have taken from you. Makes me think he doesn't care about you so much. Shut up, Naruto said as he got even angrier. Make me freak. You're a nobody, a piece of trash the Shinigami cleaned off of his boot. And your own parents, they'd be so disappointed that you joined the very thing that took them away from you, Walker said with a smirk. With clockwork. Remind me why I can't erase his very fucking soul right now, Shinigami asked Clockwork. Do not forget, my friend, there are rules even we must follow, Clockwork said. Yes, but those rules can be bent, Shinigami said with a smirk. I wonder who truly shaped who, Clockwork thought to himself as he often saw parts of the other between the father and son. Back with Naruto. Naruto's eyes turned red as his hair turned into flames as he roared with pure rage. I think I took it too far, Walker said to himself. You attacked my friends, talked shit about my family, and last but not least, you piss me off, Naruto said as he grabbed his hilt, and instead of a sword he had a whip and soon saw gauntlets form around his hands. Naruto charged at him with such force all the cars in the streets all flipped over. Walker didn't have a chance to dodge as Naruto slammed his fist in his face before sending him flying, before wrapping him around with his whip, slamming him on the ground. Then he began to pummel his face right into the ground, not even stopping as Walker's ectoplasm was on his fists. Unknown to Naruto, a news chopper was in the air and broadcasting the feed to the city. Everyone watching at home had their mouths covered as Naruto brutally beat Walker into the street. With such force he was destroying the street beneath them. Naruto, stop, you're gonna kill him, Desiree said as Danny and the others were dealing with Walker's men. GRR, who cares? Naruto roared at her with a force making her hair blow. Everyone watching you does. Now what are you? A hero or just like him? Desiree asked him. With clockwork. Damn it all to hell, Shinigami said as he was hoping Naruto would have ended this annoyance. You know he wouldn't kill him, nor would any of them allow it, Clockwork said to him. Sometimes I worry if that kind and bleeding heart will be the end of him, Shinigami said. With Naruto. Naruto panted as he looked at his ectoplasm-covered hands as he looked at Walker. who had a black eyes, busted lip and a broken nose. He then got off of him as his eyes turned back to normal, as did his hair. He looks like shit. Valerie said a little worse for wear as she looked at Walker. I swear that was awesome, Spectra said, as it was nice to beat some of Walker's men. Whatever, just send this asshole back home, Naruto said as he used a thermos and tossed it to Tucker. What the fuck happened with him? Star asked the others. He pissed him off royally. Remind me to never make Naruto mad, Wolf said, coming up to them, he and Kujo covered in wet ectoplasm. We all have our limits, and we just saw what happens when Naruto's breaks, Sam said as she knew all that anger came from a good place, but it didn't make it any less terrifying. Well, Walker and his goons are dealt with and our rep is safe, I think. Let's go home, Jazz said as this had been a long day. Few days later. I'm coming, Naruto said to Danny as she packed. Why? Danny asked as she packed. Look at the mirror and hold this letter, Naruto said to her. Danny did what she was told, and she saw Dalv was Vlad spelled backwards. Oh no, she said in realization. Yeah, Naruto said as he left to go pack some bare essentials, as he figured Vlad had some plan in motion. This mother-daughter's trip just got a whole lot more complicated, Jazz said at the door. Yeah, Danny said in agreement. Few minutes later. I can't believe you did this to Vlad's bots, Naruto said as he asked Tucker to give them a way to be tracked, and he gave them the Flybots plasmias had to look like him that now looked like Tucker. Too much? Tucker asked him. Little bit, buddy, Naruto said as this seemed like an attempt to stroke one's ego. Hey, you don't hear from us in 48 hours you find us, he said as Tucker gave him 3 of his bots. Okay, Tucker said to him as he knew Vlad was smart and dangerous and knew he thought many steps ahead. Knowing Vlad, he's probably got word that Maddie's divorced now and is trying to make a move. Naruto said, unsure if Vlad knew or not, but with Jack one never knew for certain what Vlad knew as Jack blabbed to the man. Few hours later. How'd you convince Mom to let Naruto come? Jazz asked Danny curiously. Well, for one, he's technically her boss, and she was able to go through checking faster, Danny said as her mother hated airports as her suit was laced with metal. Oh, figured Mom would be somewhat mad. After all, she's doing this to spend some time with us, Jazz said. I think you are forgetting how smart he is, Danny said as Naruto was just as smart as her mother. Must be hard to find a peer, Jazz said as she got along better with her and her sister's friends as she didn't have many peers. Danny would have said more if she didn't receive a message from Naruto saying pilot ghost those few words, and she immediately got the message and showed Jazz. You brought the gear, right? She asked her sister, who nodded as she came prepared. Are we in Colorado? Maddie asked, looking out the window seeing the Rocky Mountains. Oh hell, Naruto said as he realized what Vlad was doing, and so did the others, not counting Maddie, who saw the pilot was gone and trying to control the ship. Are you kidding me? Jazz said as she saw parachutes with their names on them. Vlad just gets creepier and creepier, Danny said as she had to resist the urge to jump out and not use it. Few minutes later. You know, if Vlad had a cabin, I'm gonna be even more creeped out, Danny said as she watched a lot of dark-themed movies, and this was essentially kidnapping. He prepared for you all coming, didn't he? Naruto said as he knew Vlad had to be somewhere here in the mountains as the plane had preset coordinates. Maddie, Vlad said as Maddie cut through a bush and Vlad was there sitting in a golf cart. He doesn't realize he creeps people out the more he does shit, does he? Jazz asked the others. Vlad, Dalv, I should have seen that, Maddie said as she just realized the name of the company. What a surprise to see you all out here. Baskets? Vlad said as he had 4 baskets in his cart. He had gift baskets ready for us. Creepy, Jazz said simply. You can say that again, honey, Maddie whispered to her. You all must be starving. I prepared pancakes, Vlad said, holding out a plate with steaming hot pancakes. He may be a creep, but the food is always good, Naruto said as he stole the plate and began eating the food. Hey, we came this far, Danny said, eating off Naruto's plate. Few minutes later. Geez, Naruto said, seeing all the hung animal heads and pelts and the grizzly pelt on the floor. And I thought Skulker was the pelt crazy guy. Danny said as this seemed like Skulker's dream home location. Doesn't having all these eyes staring at you creep you out? Maddie asked as she saw a little stuffed bunny. Not really, I like it. Vlad said with a smirk seeing the pelts. Maybe because he is a creep. Jazz said with a laugh as she and Danny high-fived. So Maddie, I've heard it through the grapevine that you're divorced now. Vlad said as he rose his eyebrows suggestively. Knew it. Naruto fought as he finished the pancakes. So that explains why you brought me here. Maddie said as she pieced together quickly what happened. It does? Vlad said in surprise. Vlad, I'm just gonna say it, I don't have feelings for you. Maddie said to him simply. You've been friend-zoned, Fruit Loop. Danny said happily. But Vlad was babbling, unable to find the words. Vlad, if I wanted you, I would have tried back in college, but maybe if you weren't so creepy, maybe then I'd actually like you. Probably. Maddie said as they walked away. Bye, Vlad, and for a lonely single man in your 40s, might I suggest internet dating or a cat? Naruto said with a grin as he saw the shocked, semi-destroyed look on Vlad's face. I don't get his problem. Jazz said, confused on why Vlad was like that. Sweetheart, your mom is MILF. Naruto said to her. Maddie heard Naruto's remark, and it made her smile as she felt an increase on her sex appeal. 1 hour later. You know how to hunt? Maddie asked as she and Naruto were in a nearby stream stabbing and catching fish while Danny and Jazz gathered berries. Yep, Naruto said as he knew a lot on survival. Is our mom checking our boyfriend out? Jazz asked Danny as they were, as well as they saw Naruto was in the water shirtless, and the water splashing against him made his abs more appealing. I believe she is. Danny said as she was checking Naruto out. Can't say I didn't see this coming, she said to her sister. Me neither. Jazz said as Naruto was really hot. Say Naruto, can you help me with something? Maddie asked him. Sure, what do you need? Naruto asked her. We need to get some more firewood, Maddie said to him. Let's go. Naruto said as they went deeper into the woods. They're gonna screw. Danny and Jazz at the same time. Few minutes later. All right, I think we got enough. Naruto said as he held a lot of sticks to use for firewood and saw Maddie's as she bended down picking up sticks off the ground. Maddie turned and saw him checking her out. See something you like? She asked him with a sly grin on her face as she saw his. Naruto looks away, trying not to let it show. I heard what you called me, young man. Maddie said as she got up and approached him. I know you've been doing my daughters, why not take this MILF for a spin? She said as she slowly peeled out of her jumpsuit, revealing she was nothing underneath it. Damn, Naruto thought as Maddie had an amazing body. Come on, big boy, show me a good time. Maddie said as she got on her knees and took off his pants and was surprised. Naruto grabbed her and started doing her slowly. You should have seen me in my college days, Maddie said with a grin, and my mouth isn't the only thing that was meant to be done, she said as she put her hands against a tree and began shaking her ass at him. Let's hear you beg, Naruto said, slapping her and squeezed as one of her melons. I know a hungry baddie when I see one, and you are desperate for D, he said with a grin. And what makes you think you can make me beg? Maddie said defiantly. Oh, I don't know, I remember when we were in my dojo, and you liked the close quarters, but lost every time. I know you got turned on from me beating you every time, Naruto said as Maddie kept asking him for a rematch as she was desperate to improve in her martial arts. True? Maddie said in admittance as Naruto beating her in fighting was a huge turn-on, as someone being able to beat her with all her skill and experience made her desire him strongly. Then beg and I'll give you the same treatment I give the girls, Naruto said, whispering in her ear. Please do me, your personal baddie, do me in my lab at my house, wherever I want to be treated like your own personal girl, just do whatever you want to my body whenever you like, Maddie said, screaming in desperation. Naruto grabbed her one leg and raised it all up while getting in. He's amazing, Maddie thought as she was finally being satisfied. Naruto began drinking on the other melons, making her moan loudly. Jesus, your melons are lactating, maybe I should make you my personal cow, he said as Maddie's melons were basically leaking out milk. Yes, make me your personal cow, Maddie said, enjoying how rough he was being with her body. Tell me, Maddie, have you ever been treated like a woman before? Been done so thoroughly, actually satisfying you? Naruto asked the pleasure-screaming MILF. No, Maddie said as Naruto made her feel things she never experienced before. Well, from now on that's going to change, Naruto said to her, releasing inside her. Do your balls ever get empty? Maddie said with an exhausted look, but her eyes had a lustful haze in them. I'm a stamina monster, Naruto said to her, simply still standing. Now use those giant melons and milk my, he said to her with a grin. Naruto spilled everything on Maddie's face and whole body. She was all sticky yet wanting for more. She had actions after very long time. She loved every second of it. Even when you'll be Danny's little pet, your youngest daughter is my mistress in my harem. Can you imagine Danny doing what I'm doing to you? Naruto said, feeling her move at a faster pace. From what I hear, that sounds like fun, Maddie said as she panted from the thought. You can when you call me master, my batty little MILF, Naruto said with a smirk. Okay then, master, Maddie said, knowing she was submitting herself to him fully. Bravo, Mom, Jazz said, clapping from behind a tree. Never thought you had it in you, Danny said, walking up to her blushing mother. Look at these giant melons, she said as she began kissing, then having some of Naruto's juices off them. Well, you know what they say, like mother like daughter, Jazz said, assisting her sister. You two really are like me back in my younger days, Maddie said, almost sounding proud. Now to establish some rules, you big melons girl, Danny said to her mother seriously. When you are given Danny was saying. Danny was interrupted as Maddie leaned down and began touching her and rubbed her daughter's melons. I know, honey, back in college I used to dominate some of the girls and my dorm mates, Maddie said, thinking about Harriet Chin in particular. Danny was taken away by her mother's skills. I swear, no wonder I'm such a slut. It's goddamn genetic, she thought in pleasure. Jazz was surprised as Naruto grabbed her melons from behind and looked down. Hope you two didn't have plans, as we're doing this as long as I want to, Naruto said with a predatory grin. All three women felt like they experienced a climax. Naruto looked down with a smirk, seeing Maddie, Jazz, and Danny sleeping together, covered in his juices, their lower holes dripping out his juice. I love you too, Maddie said with a smile as she kissed their foreheads, smiling, as even though they were unconscious, she felt they each had one of her nipples in her mouth. 1 hour later. They all were enjoying their sleep until the sound of something breaking a branch was heard, putting them all on alert. Oh shit, Jazz said as she saw small little animals become green monster-like versions of themselves. Vlad, Naruto thought, as these animals seemed to match all the ones in Vlad's cabin, though with some differences, like some having more eyes and some having more arms and some having multiple heads. What are you doing? He asked, seeing Maddie put on her jumpsuit. He didn't get a response as Maddie materialized. A bow staff and blasters came out of her suit and she charged straight at the ghost animals. She's in the zone. Let's go beat up Vlad, Danny said as her mother got like this sometimes. Few moments later. I swear, Vlad, this could not have been your plan, Naruto asked him, as this was stupidity at its highest. Oh please, you nitwits could never comprehend my genius, and welcome to the club, Jasmine. I saw your recent transformation on the TV, says the man who's spending his fortune to make cheap knockoffs of our father and mother's tech. Makes me think you're not as smart as you say you are, Jazz said, and only you would find watching others as something to see on TV. You pervert, she said. I am not a pervert, Vlad said in anger, hissing with his snake-like tongue sticking out. Then what would you call a man in his 40s as using technology to spy on teenagers, some of which happen to be girls? Naruto asked him. Okay, you may have a point there, but I am not a pervert, Vlad said, as it sounded bad in that context. Why in God's name do you have a taser? Danny asked as it looked harmless. Oh, this, I call it the Plasmius Maximus. Are you about to see what it can do? Vlad said as he zapped Naruto, making him scream in pain. Strange, you should have demorphed, he said as he had it set to the highest setting. I have a hybrid core. One part is an electricity core, you dimwit, Naruto said as he doubted that was the reason, as he hadn't learned to absorb electricity yet but wanted to give Vlad a reason it wouldn't work on him. Let's try it on you two then, Vlad said, looking at the other hybrids. How about we try it on you? Naruto said, punching him in the face, and swiped it from him. Naruto girls I took, Maddie was saying as she saw Vlad Plasmius turn into Vlad Masters. No, Maddie, this isn't, Vlad was saying. I thought it was you that attacked us at the reunion, Maddie said with a glare. Why, you knew? Vlad said as he was on the ground, unable to use his powers. In the back of my mind I knew, I just didn't want to think an old friend sunk so low, Maddie said, looking at the ghost teens. And I know that they are Naruto and my little girls, she said with a smile. How did you know? Danny asked her, surprised. Spectre deflector, Maddie said, as that was the biggest sign, but the technology acting up around Danny and recently Jazz was the biggest clue. The four looked as the ghost animals returned. Whoa, hey, time out, Naruto said, making the ghost animals stop. Why are you trying to attack us? We're not the ones who turned you into pelts and wall ornaments, he said as he knew these animals had been through a lot. The animals looked at their former bodies being used as decorations and began growling at Vlad. I'd start running if I was you, Jazz said with a smirk. No head start? Vlad asked pleadingly. Maybe 5 minutes or 5 seconds. I can be bad with math sometimes, Danny said with a grin as he began running as the animals chased him. I'm gonna go see if Vlad has anything to get us home or worth taking, Naruto said as this cabin was large. Does a helicopter count? Maddie said as she saw it on the roof when she was hopping through trees to get here. Yeah, also gonna take his other stuff, Naruto said with a grin. Few days later. Naruto Namikaze Tetzlaff said, calling Naruto over to her desk, due to the odd number of students you won't be able to do this assignment, but since your grade is so high, I can let you off with a different assignment that work with you, she said, not wanting to admit she forgot to buy another sack for him. Sure, what's the assignment? Naruto asked curiously. You'll be shadowing a reporter and I don't know, write a page, Tetzlaff said as she preferred P to this. All right, Naruto said, not seeing a problem with it. 1 hour later. Okay, little creepy, Naruto thought as he saw Harriet's office and saw pictures of Team Haffa all connected by lines of string circles on maps of sightings. Screw reporter, she should be a detective, he thought, as most theories on here where they were cited. Hi, you must be Naruto, Harriet said, coming inside her office. Sorry for the mess, being a reporter is busy work, she said, checking her notes. This woman has skills, Naruto thought as he saw she narrowed down 3 possible locations, one being Action where she met Kujo, the other being Casper High, and the other being the block he lived on with the Fentons. Have a fascination for ghosts? He asked her curiously. Yeah, thought some of my colleagues in college were crazy, but turns out they were right, Harriet said as she was chasing down many leads. I mean, seeing all these ghosts, some good, some bad, she said to him. Good to know, she thinks we're good, Naruto thought, seeing his team under the good category, and saw she had a full body picture which seemed like in the best quality, which seemed the most focused on. Wonder if this is Superman Lois Lane type deal, he thought as he then asked her questions. Few hours later. You okay? Naruto asked, looking at the rooftop covered in ice. Why is it so cold? Danny asked as she was shivering while Valerie was also shivering. Could be your core again, Naruto said as Danny had certain cold moments and due to him training her she was getting stronger and noticed he was standing in a puddle. You unlocked your core too, he said as he was surprised she did. Yeah, sorta panicked when this asshole tried to gas us, Valerie said as looked at the frozen skulker. Come on Danny, let's warm you up, she said with a smirk she and Naruto shared. Few days later at Action. I have a bounty, Naruto said as Vlad was in town and put a bounty on his head. Kujo didn't seem to like this and neither did Wolf, who could speak from experience about being hunted for having a similar bounty. What's got me on edge are these guys in white, who seems kinda like a parody of Men in Black, Sam said as she looked into them and found out they were studying, hunting, and dissecting ghosts to take them down. Well, they are government funded. I can't tell you how many times I've had to sue them, Maddie said as she was glad she patented her and Jack's inventions as they had repeatedly tried to steal their specs. Guys in white, men in black. Seriously? Tucker said as that sounded completely unoriginal. And they're right outside, Danny said as they were in the basement and looked at their monitors and saw the men they just talked about. Hide Wolf, Something tells me these guys don't care about ethics. Naruto said as something told him these guys would do whatever they wanted whenever they wanted to if it dealt with a ghost, as he figured they'd try busting into the house. Few minutes later. All of you stay here, Naruto said, and was glad Spectra was here in advance, as she was the only full ghost on the team. These walls are triple enforced so their scanners can't pick you up even in ghost form, but stay human to stay safe, he said seriously as he and Maddie went up. Naruto Namikaze, pleasure to meet you. On behalf of the guys in white, we request you turn over any ecto technology you have, Agent K said to him. Hell no, Naruto said simply. Mr. Namikaze, the government doesn't own this building, Agent O was saying till Naruto interrupted him. I own this building, the inventions, everything. Got anything to say to that? Naruto asked them challengingly. Mr. Namikaze, our organization will get those weapons by any means necessary, Agent K said to him. And what are those means, agents? Because it sounds like a government agency is threatening a businessman in handing over his technology because said government agency is abusing its power, or am I completely misinterpreting you threatening this man? Harriet asked, coming out from around a corner. Both agents stuttered and then decided to leave. Thanks, I owe you one, Harriet said to Naruto, as this was juicy news. No problem also means I get to press major damn charges, Naruto said as he saw Maddie smile at the thought of suing them again. With clockwork. This is a dangerous time, clockwork, Shinigami said, referring to the key Vlad was trying to acquire and the bounty hunters after his son. What is life without risk? Clockwork said with a neutral look. A calm one, Shinigami said as he knew he couldn't protect his son from dangers. I know the danger that comes from the skeleton key, old friend. Do not forget, I was there as it was forged, Clockwork said as he had existed in every moment in time and had bared witness to all that has happened, will, might, or might not happen. Be strong, Naruto, I believe in you, Shinigami said, hoping his son could hear him. Clockwork smiled and manipulated time suddenly in the moment. Shinigami said that he already is, but sometimes he can use a reminder, he thought to himself, as Naruto was very humble and sometimes thought less of himself, but he truly shined from the voices and inspirational words of his friends and loved ones. Few hours later. You're crossing a line, Vlad, Naruto said as the man put a bounty on Danny and Jazz. Oh please, there is no line I won't cross to get what I want, Vlad said to him with a glare. Well, what you're wanting is already taken, Naruto said with a smirk as Vlad didn't know Maddie was with him and was just waiting to throw it at his face. Also heard your house blew up, he said as he kept tabs on Vlad, and it wasn't hard to hear about that. Yes, an unfortunate accident, Vlad said, still berating himself. What happened? A gas pipe, faulty wiring, forgetting to change your ectofiltrator? Naruto asked as he helped Danny and Jazz with chores sometimes. I forgot to change the blasted ectofiltrator in time, Vlad said, really wishing he could have hired someone to do that. And you call us the forgetful ones? Let me guess, this bounty is just a rouse so you can steal Jack's portal? Naruto asked as he made it obvious when he targeted Jazz and Danny. Clever boy, and who says I'm not already there? Jack the Buffin gave me the code, Vlad asked him as he needed to rush. Because you want to watch Jack make a fool of himself trying to catch us, to make him look bad in front of his own daughters and Maddie. And because taking it is going to take some time, so you want to savor it, Naruto said as Vlad liked to stroke his ego and watch certain things himself. Starting to see how you beat me in getting action labs, Vlad said as he was impressed by Naruto's intelligence. Yeah, because unlike you, I'm not fueled by my ego to do things, Naruto said to him plainly. It's not ego if it's skill, Vlad said, blasting him. Yeah, skills you use to gain your fortune in the first place. Without them, you'd be nothing, just like you were back in those college days. A sad, lonely, pathetic, little nobody, Naruto said as he blasted back. Shut your mouth, Vlad said as he fired multiple beams. Our powers made us more like who we are. I became a hero as I always was, protecting others. Your powers made you even more of a creep, always thinking about yourself, trying so hard to get what he selfishly wants, knowing that he will never get them, now or ever, Naruto said. Shut up, Vlad said, unleashing blasts in anger. The truth's hard to hear, isn't it? And here you are trying to kill the very man who made you anything at all. Jack's the whole reason you have your fortune, or anything at all. Maybe you should be thanking him instead." Naruto said with a grin, knowing he was driving Vlad mad, wondering if he should bring up Maddie. "Thank him? He ruined my life," Vlad said in pure rage. "Didn't have much of a life before, did you?" Naruto said. "You insignificant brat, who do you think you're talking to?" Vlad asked, seething in rage. "A sad, pathetic loser who's trying so hard to obtain something he'll never have." "A sad, deranged, hideous freak," Naruto said. Vlad roared with rage as he began firing all around him, trying to hit Naruto. "And you want to know what? Maddie will never be yours. Want to know why?" Naruto asked him. "Why is that?" Vlad asked curiously. "Because she's mine now," Naruto said with a grin, seeing Vlad's destroyed look. "I will end you," Vlad said as they then got in a fist fight. Naruto grinned as he made his shadow attack Vlad. "I've picked up a new trick or two since we last fought," he said as his shadow bound his limbs. "I will get what I came for," Vlad said angrily as he broke free of the shadow as he multiplied himself. "No you won't," Naruto said as he blasted all of the Vlads with black lightning. "Too late," Vlad said as all the clones went in separate directions. "The ghost portal is protected, so any goon you send will have to go through them to get it," Naruto said as he yelled out as Fenton Works was being heavily monitored. "Not from Vlad Masters," one of the Vlads yelled. "Shit," Naruto said simply. "Wasn't smart coming to me now, was it?" one of the Vlads asked as they all laughed. "Who said I was the real Naruto?" Naruto said as he faded. "Oh, butter biscuits," the Vlads say as they faded as well. Few minutes later. "I swear," Naruto said angrily as Vlad was using Jack as a literal human shield. "What can we do?" Danny asked him, wanting to literally beat Vlad till he was a darker shade of blue than his ghost form. "Nothing," Naruto said as secrets had a price and keeping Jack in the dark was a much needed precaution for the team. "Vlad won this round," he said as he. "What? We can't let," Jazz was saying to him. "I said Vlad won, let it go," Naruto said to Jazz. Maybe you're not so stupid after all, little fox," Vlad said to them. "You're a effing clone," Danny said as she could just tell. "Ah, you're becoming clever as well, little badger," Vlad said with a grin. "Don't start," Naruto said as he saw both their eyes turn green. "We can't do fucking nothing. He has our dad, for crying out loud," Jazz said as Vlad was using their unknowing father while the real one was in the ghost zone. "We can't do anything without hurting Jack," Naruto said to them. "That's right, I hold all the cards. Now run along. You have a bounty on your heads, so staying in one place is a bad idea," Vlad said as a clawed hand went through his chest from behind. "Forgot about me, didn't you?" Wolf said to Vlad as he was able to break into ghost-protected technology or areas. "Oh right, you didn't know about our furry friend. Well, he's very protective and loyal to us for giving him his freedom," Naruto said, as he wanted this clone of Vlad gone, so he made a call to Wolf. "What do we do about the bounty hunters?" Jazz asked him, getting a blank look from Naruto as he shape-shifted into Vlad. "Oh right, you and me can shapeshift," she said as she forgot that was the one power she had that Danny didn't. "Yeah, I'm gonna say Jack caught us," Naruto said as he went and got Jack fudge and a can of cheese whip. "Why?" Danny asked curiously. "This'll knock him out, and we need those hunters to leave, and also Jack kinda needs a win," Naruto said, as he could tell the man was a little depressed not catching a ghost. "Oh, I thought you were gonna say something about the reward," Danny said to him. "What are you gonna do? Hack his account to give us the money or something?" Jazz asked as she didn't want Naruto to use his own money for it. "Oh, Vlad will pay. The only reason I'm taking that asshole's form," Naruto said to them as he went outside to tell everyone. Few days later. "Let me ask you, Slot, are you ready?" Sam asked with a smirk as she saw her mother had bat pasties on her nipples wearing black panties. "Yes," Pamela said to her daughter shyly. "Are you ready to cheat on that pansy of a husband you have? I mean, come on, what man wears a damn sweater vest with all of his outfits?" Sam said, rubbing her mother's ass. "I've always wanted to cheat on that man. I think I only got with him because he had a lot of money," Pamela said as her husband had no other appealing qualities. I knew you were a little beach, but let me tell you something, mother, when you get ride by my man he will own you, and you will serve him in any way he deems, but in my opinion you'd do well as a maid, Sam said, holding out a revealing maid outfit. Am I dreaming? Because this feels like my dreams are coming true, Pamela said till Sam spanked her ass, causing her to moan. Your dreams are nothing but pale imitations to what will happen to you. Now go into the room where you F your pansy husband and stain the bed with your and my man's juices, Sam said. Pamela pulled Sam into a lustful kiss. Thank you, sweetie, she said with a smile as she went to her room and froze seeing Naruto lying there very hard. Your job is to service him, now do your job, Sam said with a grin as she was going to watch Naruto destroy her mother. Don't have to tell me twice, Pamela said as she got on the bed and began to do him off and lick him. You dressed her up, didn't you? Naruto asked Sam as he saw the bat pasties on her mother. Yep, hope you enjoy her cheating MILF pussy, Sam said with a grin. Well, she definitely knows how to please me, Lord, Naruto said as he in her mouth. Wow, already? Sam said, impressed that her mother made Naruto so quickly. I had years of practice when I was younger. Should have seen me in college, Pamela said as she and Maddie went to college together and often rides a lot, but they could never settle which was the dominant one, and since they got married they fought trying to outdo the other. Well, let's see how your throat is, Naruto said with a smirk. Naruto wasn't stopping there. Best view ever, Naruto said, loving the sight he was seeing between the mother and daughter. Doing them and riding both for hours. What else do you want to do to us, handsome, Pam said, bringing her daughter's face up as they made out. Naruto smirked as he looked at them with a lustful look in his eyes. 7 hours later. Naruto smiled seeing the mother and daughter laying on the bed as they were covered in his juices, from him pounding them until their minds and bodies couldn't take any more. What do you want to do about my kitty of a husband, master? Pam asked Naruto with curious look. My grandmother doesn't like my father. If it wasn't for me, she would have cut him off years ago, Sam said as she knew her grandmother put up with her father merely for her, so she grew up with 2 parents. So she could kick him out if she wanted to? Naruto asked her curiously. Yep, but you'll be keeping my mother, Sam said to her mother. You're gonna be his little bad maid, Mom. Hope you enjoy, she said with a grin. Yes, Pam said, getting wet from the thought. Can we wait a while? I want to be a cheating wife a little while longer, she asked Naruto. Sure, Naruto said with a grin as he spanked their asses as he left. Few days later. I'm getting weird vibes from this carnival, Sam, Naruto said to his goth lover who dragged him to this circus. That's the point, Sam said with a grin. What is that? Naruto thought as he felt a headache, as if something was trying to peer into his mind and soul, and beneath him his shadow had begun acting erratically. I mean, come on, Circus Gothica, it sounds like the perfect place for someone like me, Sam said as she felt at home here. That's not what surprises me. What surprises me is that we have this many goths in town, Naruto said, as there was over 300 people here. You got a point there, Sam said as she wondered where all these goths usually were as she went to a goth cafe and some gothic poetry events and a few libraries. I don't like this guy, Naruto said as he saw the ringmaster and got a weird vibe off his staff as he felt like he got vertigo as he knew he was standing right, but his mind felt disoriented. Greetings, fellow outcasts. I am Friedrich Isaac Schoenhauer, but you all may call me Freakshow, your master of ceremonies. Ready to smile and let everything go at the circus, Freakshow said in a tone that made people believe him. Naruto's shadow continued to morph under him. No, the goth said. Then you've come to the right place. Prepare to be disturbed and appalled by a small sample of the bizarre and abnormal world of Circus Gothica, Freakshow said with a wicked grin as he pointed to the open car on the train as a harpoon shot out attached to a rope. Then a woman crawled on it like a spider as a man on a ball rolled out juggling skulls, followed by a woman rolling out in a spiked wheel, and finally a tall walker dressed like a skeleton. With Desiree. What the hell is wrong with you? Desiree asked Spectra as they had less work to do today as most of the students were ditching school, and she was in her office with Spectra enjoying some coffee, but Spectra dropped to a knee clutching her head. I don't know, Spectra said as she felt something was messing with her mind. What's wrong with her? Desiree thought, as Spectra was never like this before, and this was a little sudden. It's like something's trying to get inside my head, Spectra said as a vein appeared on her head and she became a shadow. This isn't good, Desiree thought to herself. Wish we were at Action's basement now, she said to Spectra. I wish we were in Action's basement, Spectra said as they were covered in pink smoke and soon appeared in Action's basement. Now let's see if we can figure out what's happening to you, Desiree said as Spectra passed out. Sometimes I wish I could grant my own wishes, she thought, making a mental note to ask Naruto to make said wish. Few hours later, Naruto was at home trying to get some sleep as he had a cold sweat and was breathing heavily, and he soon felt intense pain and fell unconscious as his eyes glowed red and his shadow separated from him, but instead of the shadow having his of its normal silver eyes, its eyes were now crimson red. Next day, Naruto, Paulina, and Stars said seeing Naruto on the floor with a bloody nose with his eyes wide open and his skin a very pale shade. Later at Action. What is wrong with them? Star asked Desiree. I have one idea. Look, Desiree said, pointing an activated flashlight at Naruto's hand, and what they saw creeped them out. He had no shadow. Yeah, ran into it last night. Not fun, Danny said as she was sore as she stopped a robbery and fought it. He can't function without his shadow and vice versa, Spectra said as she looked sickly. They are linked in a way none of us can understand. Our shadows are a part of us. Without them isn't something that should be possible, but the longer it's away, she said, trailing off as they looked at Naruto's current state. Freak show, he's got to be behind this. All this weird stuff and ghost attacks started when he showed up, Danny said as she looked at Naruto worriedly. But how? He's not a ghost, Sam said as she came downstairs. His weird staff of his. These ghosts aren't stealing willingly, they're under his mind control, Danny said as she found it weird all those ghosts had red eyes. Then what are we dealing with? Supervillain or some dude with a magic stick? Valerie asked curiously. Magic stick most likely, Desiree said as she looked at news report and saw the staff. Take it away from Freak Show or destroy it and Naruto's shadow will return to him. Yeah, that's good and all, but what's stopping us from being put under his control too? Tucker asked curiously. He might only be able to control full ghosts. Half-us are a gray area and less than that, Desiree said, looking at Tucker and Valerie as they had less ectoplasm. And Wolf? Sam asked. Full ghost, Desiree said as animals were a bit more susceptible to magic on certain. And Cujo? What if you're wrong and we end up with strings on us too? Ember asked. Cujo might be able to resist being more intelligible and a half-a, Desiree said as magic had loopholes and bendable rules. And if he sicks Naruto's shadow on us, that thing will destroy us like that, Tucker said, snapping his fingers. Without the host body, the shadow should be weakening as well, Kitty said as she saw Johnny once separated his shadow from him longer than the regular intervals and it became as weak as Johnny was. And if it isn't, that thing will kill us. It can do everything Naruto can do, and I'm pretty sure even a weakened Naruto can still kick all of our asses, Star said as she witnesses Naruto take on multiple people in human form. Ghost form was the same. Then let's just hope we get lucky, Desiree said as they needed all the help they could get. Spectra, stay here, we already have one rogue shadow, we don't need you in the mix, she said as Spectra gave her a weak thumbs up. With Naruto's shadow. Wow, why didn't I find you before? You're bringing me more goods than any of these washouts have, Freakshow said as he petted Naruto's shadow like it was his pet. The shadow had flickering eyes glaring at the pale pasty man. Oh, the scary eyes. You should be reminded that if it wasn't for my crystal ball, you'd have faded away by now. So be a little more grateful, Freakshow said, knowing the principles of ghosts. The shadow's eyes returned to red. Much better. Who needs goons when I have the one ghost that can do it all? Freakshow said with a wicked grin. Surely it can't do everything. A ghost woman with spiky hair and many tattoos all over her body, athletic but curvy body said, and the only clothing she had on was a small black corset tight on her E-cup melons, black thong that was tight on her plump ass, and red cape hood. Is that jealousy I hear, Lydia? Oh, don't worry, I'll always have a need for you, Freakshow said with a grin as he scratched her chin. The shadow glared at him as it had Naruto's empathic powers and could tell he was lying to her and wanted nothing more than to break Freakshow's teeth and his bones. Later with the others. "Why is this place so freaking big?" Danny said, annoyed, as they looked all over Circus Gothica, which was taking a while as the place was bigger than they thought. "Maybe because this guy's trying to compensate for something." "Ah," Tucker said with a laugh, cracking himself up. "The big top, only place we haven't looked yet," Valerie said as she hated that place. "Every time bad guy circus guys have a big top, it's always a trap," Tucker said as he watched a lot of cartoons and movies. "I swear," Paulina said as she was creeped out by regular carnivals. The gothic ones were more terrifying, and when they went in they were met with total darkness. "Oh, that's my foot," Sam said, feeling Danny's step on her foot. "Sorry, could someone turn on the damn lights already?" Danny asked as they came on. "Thank you," as torches were lit. "You're welcome," Freakshow said pleasantly. "How long have you been standing there?" Star asked, as that was very creepy. "To be honest, I lost track," Freakshow said. "You're creepy even by goth standard, dude," Sam said, as there was a limit to the level of creepy she could accept. "I try," Freakshow said proudly, taking it as a compliment. "Where's our friend's shadow?" Tucker said, aiming a blaster. "I think you mean my shadow," Freakshow said as he tapped his staff on the ground and Naruto's shadow came out of his own. "How's it still looking so well?" Desiree asked as it looked strong as ever. "The magic of my crystal ball staff. It's keeping it alive and under my control. Take my control away and the poor creature probably wouldn't survive for a minute. Perhaps less," Freakshow said. "Give it back," Danny said in pure fury. "Never. I've gained more money and jewels than I've ever gotten from those pathetic goons of mine. This thing is all I could ever need. Be a good pet and attack," Freakshow said as he made Naruto's shadow charge at them and froze. "Why aren't you attacking them? Do it," he said. "Are we dead?" Tucker asked, opening one eye looking at Naruto's shadow. "Friends," the shadow said in a loud, gruff voice. "Fine. Who needs these washouts anyways? I said obey me, now," Freakshow said as he stopped controlling his other goons and focused all of the staff's power on Naruto's shadow. The shadow roared as its eyes returned to red. "That's better. Attack," Freakshow ordered the shadow. "Since when the hell do shadows talk?" Danny asked Desiree as they blasted the shadow. "They can't, but since this is Naruto's shadow, it's as unpredictable as he is," Desiree said as it was unfazed by their attacks. Naruto's shadow started making a cyclone. "Ha, ha, amazing. This shadow is my ticket to the big time, baby. Screw all those other ghosts. This thing is everything I'll ever need," Freakshow said with a maniacal laugh. "What?" a certain voice said, making him freeze. "Lydia, how long have you been standing there?" Freakshow asked. "Long enough you were going to abandon me for a shadow?" Lydia said, sounding enraged. "Now Lydia, calm down," Freakshow said in worry. "With Naruto." "Oh my god," Spectra said as she saw the Shinigami come out of the portal and approach Naruto. "Don't make me reap your soul, Naruto, not now," Shinigami said, placing a hand on Naruto's face. "Is he that bad?" Spectra asked him in worry as Naruto visited her occasionally during lunch to talk, and it was nice to have an actual conversation she didn't have to treat as a meal. The Shinigami didn't answer her, not wanting to voice his concerns or what he knew would happen. "Those kids need to hurry," Spectra said, not too keen on seeing Naruto go from half a ghost to full ghost. With the others. "Can someone explain to me how the F we stop this thing without killing it?" Valerie asked them as she was low on ammo and only had her blasters. "If we break the staff it'll barely have time to get back to Naruto. Which means we have to get that staff. We get it, then we'll be the ones controlling the shadow," Desiree said, glaring at the staff wielder, and smiled as the tattooed woman attacked him. "Shadow, protect me," Freakshow said as Lydia sent her tattoo creatures after him. The shadow shot in front of him as breathed black flames, destroying the tattoo creatures. "Hey, tall, dark, and pasty," Jazz said, getting Freakshow's attention before she gave him an uppercut to the chin. "I got it," Danny said, reaching for the staff till it slipped out of her grasp. "Don't got it," she said as Naruto's shadow caught it. "Good, now bring Daddy back his staff. Come on," Freakshow said, doing kissy face. No, don't. You have the staff shadow you can choose, Danny said. No one expected the shadow to smack Freakshow with the staff. Now hold on, Shadow. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Freakshow asked as he put on some glasses before Shadow hit him with them. You'd hit a guy with glasses. Well played, he said before the Shadow began beating him again. Sometimes I wonder why we all bother coming, Star asked as they weren't all needed. "'Cause backup is nice," Tucker said to them. "But all of us? One or two I can get, but why is it always all of us? Seems kinda redundant at times," Paulina said as half the time they get it done before half of them can get a punch or a blast in. Naruto's shadow looked satisfied as Freakshow laid on the ground twitching in pain as he held the staff. "Woo, now let's get you back to Naruto," Danny said. "Home," the shadow said with a smile. "No," it said as it beat Freakshow some more. "Stop, you'll kill him," Kitty said to the shadow. "Don't care," it said. Freakshow began to bleed heavily. "I said, stop," Kitty said as her hand shined a bright light and burned the shadow. Guess Naruto was right, she thought as she saw her bright glowing hands. "Now go," she said to the shadow who left. "Call me," Lydia said to the shadow. "He might not, but his owner might," Valerie said to her. "All right then," Lydia said with a grin. 4 minutes later. "Oh, thank God," Spectra said as the others arrived with Naruto's shadow, but saw Naruto's state hadn't changed as his shadow re-entered his body. "What's wrong? He should be better," she asked the Shinigami. "We're back. Is he okay?" Danny asked as they bolted inside and froze seeing Naruto's father. "He's gone," Shinigami said to them simply as a tear went down his face. "No, I don't believe you," Danny said as he went to him grabbing his hand, not feeling the gentle warmness that it usually brought, only cold. "No, fuck this move," Star said grabbing her hands and building up a shock, and hit his chest again, she said repeating the process. "Come on, wake up dude," Tucker said on the verge of tears. "I wish he had air in his lungs," Paulina said to Desiree. Desiree couldn't grant the wish fast enough as air went into him. "Wake up Naruto," they all said, some loud, some quiet, some thinking it. "Am I dead?" Naruto asked to no one in particular as he found himself in a black void. "Naruto Namikaze, you have resisted it," a voice said, getting his attention. "Resisted what?" Naruto said, looking around for the source of a voice. "You have a passion inside you and a strong will, one that is also kind. You are worthy of it," the voice said to him. "Worthy of what?" Naruto asked the voice. "Not important, no, all you need to do is claim what you have proven time and time again you deserve," the voice said to him. "What do I deserve? What are you?" Naruto asked the voice until he was blinded by a bright light. "With the others." "Why the hell are you crying?" Naruto asked as everyone looked at him in surprise. "Dad," he asked, seeing his father look at him in surprise. "How are you alive?" Shinigami asked him as he was sure Naruto was dead. "Feel the need to eat any brains?" Tucker asked him, getting smacked by Valerie, Paulina, and Star. "I feel like absolute shit." "What happened?" Naruto asked them. "You died, for about 3 minutes," Sam said to him. Did anyone trade their lives for mine?" Naruto asked, seeing everyone's faces. Later with Clockwork. "How did he survive?" Shinigami asked Clockwork. "And no cryptic shit, I want to know how my son is still a halfa and not a full ghost," he said, looking at the time ghost. "Can't kill what wasn't truly dead," Clockwork said to him. "What happened?" Shinigami asked him, wanting an answer. "He was summoned by the crown," Clockwork said to him. "Not that crown. How?" "It's locked away in that tomb," Shinigami asked him. "It found a way. What we need to prepare for is what'll happen when he obtains it," Clockwork said, seeing many possible futures. "I swear I hate ghostly artifacts," Shinigami said, as this was gonna be a nightmare. Casper High. "You okay?" Naruto asked Desiree as she didn't seem so well. "I'm fine," Desiree said as she lied through her teeth as she was sneezing like crazy. "I didn't think us halfas could get sick," Naruto said as he then thought back to Danny's cold spots. "Maybe she has a new power," he thought, unsure of what it could be as her mist was pink, which was a result of her genie powers. Desiree suddenly hiccuped and her table lamp came to life. "Okay, both powers are acting up. You're going home. God, you are burning up." Naruto said as he touched her head, and she was very hot. Desiree hiccuped again, causing her lamp to return to normal. You gotta hate hiccups and powers mixing, Naruto said with a chuckle as Paulina had that once. I don't know why I feel so warm, Desiree said as this was new to her. Perhaps you are gaining a new ability. Danny and Jazz were freezing as they gained their ice cores. Maybe you're gaining a core, Naruto said. Desiree sneezed and blew everything she had on her desk all over her office. Okay, wind is rare but cool, Naruto said to her. You mean I'm gaining the power that asshole Vortex has? Yeah, I have it too, and Vortex's core is similar to mine, but more weather-based as it highly adaptable, Naruto said as he knew about the criminal. I'm not going to even ask how you know about Vortex in the first place, Desiree said to him. Let's get you home, Naruto said as he was glad it was his lunch and he wasn't missing class. Few minutes later, Desiree was blushing up a storm as Naruto carried her bridal style as he flew her home. Don't lie, you've had some dreams about this, Naruto said confidently but jokingly. Oh, you have no idea, Desiree thought as she nuzzled into his chest, enjoying the warmth it gave off and how firm yet comfortable he was. She let out a loud hiccup as they passed the movie theater, making a new movie poster glow. Few minutes later, Naruto was currently in gym class, wiping the sweat off of his face with a towel as his ghost sense went off. Who is now? Box ghost again? He mumbled to himself as he looked around, and then froze hearing a growl and soon saw a distortion in the air as a female humanoid lizard appeared. Okay, predator both literally and figuratively, he said as the woman looked savage, but skilled. Kill, the lizard woman said, unleashing her wrist blade on her right hand. Wait, you're familiar from that movie that came out, Trinity of Doom, Naruto said as Sam wanted to go see it, and oh shit, you're here to kill me, he said, not liking this as this was a character from a movie, meaning it followed that movie's logic. What did this? He said, knowing only a few things that could do that. Naruto watched as Famalian looked at the other students who were running away in fear before turning her gaze onto him. Can I ask why me specifically? Naruto asked, feeling like he was entitled to some answers. You are a warrior, Famalian said before charging at him. And so are you. I swear, is this that warrior seeks out a stronger or a worthy warrior shit? Naruto asked, as it was a common thing in movies and a way to assert dominance among others. Famalian simply had her mouth part and fired a ball of slime that began melting a nearby locker. I swear, Naruto thought as he saw her go invisible, someone needs to sue that guy because this guy just copied the predator, he said in anger. Suddenly, Naruto heard cackling as he turned and saw a fairly large woman who looked like Freddy Krueger with a hat and 2 claw gloves walked in. Nightmarika, if you two are alive, doesn't that mean? He was saying before a woman with a black ponytail walked in having a robotic eye and arm. Terminatra, the only one of you 3 who's attractive, he said, sending the cyborg woman a wink while also checking her out as her black leather jumpsuit didn't hide her body's curves and features and made them pop out. She had low E-cup melons, athletic body, and a plump round ass. Get out of my way, Terminatra said, aiming at a certain area, firing from a shoulder blaster she made appear on his shoulder as Famalian was hit. Oh right, you hate Famalian cyborgs vs lizards, Naruto said in realization, and Claw Lady is bloodthirsty, he said as said woman was based off of Freddy Krueger. Unknown to Naruto, she was right behind him, and as Terminatra marched over to the downed Famalian, she simply pointed at Nightmarika, sending her through a wall with a blaster. I should record this, Naruto said as Sam might kill him for not recording this. Famalian growled as she got up and glared at Terminatra before aiming the wrist blaster on her left hand at her before firing, but silver ooze wrapped around Terminatra's arm, making a shield. Valerie and Tucker would kill for that, Naruto said, as that was an impressive skill power to have. Famalian looked at a fire extinguisher before throwing it at Terminatra, who blasted it, making white smoke to cover Famalian's escape. Damn it, Terminatra said, seeing Famalian was gone, as was Nightmarika. Come on, let's go. I may know someone that can help, Naruto said, as he wasn't too sure on the help part. Later with Desiree. Sam, if you don't quiet down, Desiree said as she was getting a headache from Sam's excited squeals as Terminatra was there. Also Sam, what the hell? Naruto said as he was checking the news for the other two movie ghosts and saw 3 jeeps covered in vines. You are always bitching about restraint and you use your powers to do this? He asked as Sam didn't like hot dogging with their powers. Sam nearly blushed and looked away, not meeting his gaze. These two are supposed to help me? Terminatra asked Naruto, wondering if he was being serious right now. Oh yeah, right Desiree, I wish she was real, Naruto said as Terminatra was now a real human cyborg woman. Also, I wish you could undo Sam's earlier damage to those jeeps. We don't need bad PR, he said as Desiree then casted that wish. So what do we do with Cyberwoman? Sam asked curiously. Unlike the other two, she has a conscience and humanity. Speaking of, I gotta make a call, Naruto said, making a phone call to his dad. So, cyborg lady, how is she not a ghost from your magic? Sam asked Desiree. She was based on a fictional character. I merely made her as she was, Desiree said as she made the woman real. How exactly are we supposed to walk her around town as she's like that? Sam asked. I may be able to solve that, Shinigami said, appearing before them. Hello, Miss Ivy. Pleasure watching your work on those dung beetles' cars, he said as he caught it earlier today, but still hypocritical practice what you preach, child, he said to Sam. Dung beetles? Desiree asked curiously. Don't ask, Naruto said to her. Ah, a new soul, Shinigami said as he inspected Terminatra. Desiree made you a real person. Impressive, he said, inspecting her. Can you take half her life force and make her a halfa? Naruto asked him, as she wasn't a real person till moments ago, so the rules were flexible for her. Don't know what I can do with a tin can, but let's give it a whirl, Shinigami said, taking out his blade, aiming it down the middle of her, making her glow, and in place of Terminatra was a young adult with long black hair and had no cybernetic enhancements. You can still do your metal thing and have all the powers of a halfa, but sorry to tell you this Naruto can't have her life force, gotta keep this. He said people normally were supposed to die from his blade. Terminatra was an exception. Whatever, just thanks, Naruto said to his father. You are welcome, and I have some dung beetle souls to punish. Bye, Shinigami said, disappearing. I swear one of these times he does that he's going to set off the smoke alarms, Desiree said as the man was a bit on the dramatic side, leaving a cloud of smoke behind him. So I live, and can have a normal life. But what happens to Femalian and Nightmarika? Terminatra asked. Don't worry, Desiree can just poof them away, Naruto said as he heard another hiccup from the wishing halfa. I hope, he said as Desiree still didn't look 100%. Well, first we need to find the two psychos, Sam said. Leave that to me. Tracking those two is my job after all, Terminatra said as she made her eye turn red and had a sniper-like lens appearance. Already in tune with your powers, nice, Naruto said, a little impressed. Shit, they're clashing at a place you call the Nasty Burger, Terminatra said as she linked up to the internet and hacked into local news stations. No more property damage, Sam, I'm serious, Naruto said as he didn't want Sam to ruin their image just because of her ideals, while valid still affected the rest of them since she was doing something wrong, and I mean it, like replacing the meat, or I don't know, fucking with the food, making it more green than meaty, he said to her. Fine, Sam said in acceptance. Few minutes later. You are one ugly motherfucker, Naruto said, hovering over Femalian, who scared some people away. I'm gonna skin you alive for that, Femalian said, angrily flying at him. Oh shit, wait, I don't care, you're still ugly, Naruto said as the two women with black hair chuckled a little. Femalian roared with rage as she tore the Nasty Burger sign out of the ground and threw it at them. Shit, Naruto said, impressed with how strong she was before they blasted the sign to pieces. Hey, where gay? Found her, Sam was saying before Nightmarika tackled her down. I swear she has sharper claws than Wolf, she said as Nightmarika was slashing her vines away like crazy. Terminatra aimed at Nightmarika as she changed her mechanical arm into a blaster before hitting the psycho with a white beam. Okay, enough of this movie parody shit, Naruto said as he punched Femalian in the face, breaking a few teeth before Terminatra got her in a net. Sam covered Nightmarika in vines. Welcome to my world, bitch, she said before kicking the psychotic woman in the face, knocking her out. Okay, we got them. Now we take them to Desiree to get rid of these knockoffs. Sam said as she was a little over the movie now experiencing the live action. Later with Desiree. I wish the fictional characters in this thermos didn't exist, Naruto said to her. Careful, when you say didn't exist, do you mean them as living beings or like them period? Desiree asked as with wishes you had to be very clear and precise. Period, Naruto said to her as these two were psychopaths so he had no problem sending them to oblivion. She was asking as your wish may make the movie they came from never happen. Sam said seeing why Desiree asked. I don't see a downside to either plus we won't get sued for copyright, Naruto said to her. If that's true, Sam said in admittance. Whatever, just get rid of them before I do. Terminatrix said to them as these two needed to die. Done, the movie doesn't exist, and neither do those two, Desiree said opening up the thermos revealing it to be empty. Okay, now we can deal with her, Sam said looking at Terminatrix. Desiree, I wish she had an identity, Naruto said as she granted his wish. Natalie Connor, he asked the wishing ghost. Only thing I could think of, Desiree said to him. Did you get that off of Terminator with John Connor? Naruto asked her curiously. Desiree chose not to answer that question. How's the sniffles treating you? Naruto asked her curiously. Better actually, Desiree said to him. Easy, the best way to deal with a wind core is to breathe, Naruto said as controlling one's breathing was a physical task that was instinctual. Learning to control it was something else entirely. Desiree soon took in long deep breaths focusing on the air that she took in and let out and soon no longer felt like sneezing so much she might actually blow out her brains. That power is easy once you get the hang of it. Desiree going with the flow never had more truer meaning, Naruto said as embracing wind was easy. Whatever, I got to get ready for school in the morning with my new assistant, Desiree said looking at Natalie. You hired Natalie, Naruto asked her curiously. Yes, no assistant and all that paperwork screw that Desiree said as she hated paperwork and wished it could burn in hell. Well, alright, get your beauty sleep, although you don't need much, Naruto said as he flew out of there with Sam. When are you gonna make a move? Natalie asked her curiously as she had been here less than a day and even she knew Desiree was into Naruto. When I feel like it, Desiree said as she felt that time would be soon. 1 hour later. Hey birthday girl, Naruto said to Paulina with a grin. Hey handsome, are you my birthday present? Paulina said reaching over to give him a kiss. Among other things, Naruto said as they kissed passionately. So where have you been all day? Paulina asked as it was 5 o'clock. A movie came to life, Naruto said simply getting a curious stare from Paulina as that was something she wasn't expecting. So what do you want to do? Paulina asked him. Let's go bowling, Naruto said as he knew Paulina liked that particular sport. I'll call Star, Paulina said as she loved to bowl. The more the merrier, Naruto said with a smile. Half hour later. How the hell are you so good? Star asked as Naruto had rolled 6 strikes. Skill, Naruto said as he knew the right amount of force to use when bowling to get a strike. Or the luck of the devil, Paulina said as Naruto was great at many things, this included. Whatever, Naruto said with a chuckle as he believed in making his own luck. Well, that was fun. What now? Star asked them. Well, there is supposed to be a meteor shower later, but we have a few hours to kill, Naruto said simply. I know a way to kill time, Paulina said with a grin. 1 hour later. I thought this would be fun, Paulina said as she was in her underwear and Star was completely nude while Naruto had no shirt. She knew he lost that hand on purpose just to distract them. Was fun for me, Naruto said with a smirk as he admired their feminine beauty. Bet we could make it better, Star said with a lustful grin. Well, it is my job to make the birthday girl happy, Naruto said matching her look. Well, let's get started, Paulina said taking her off as she lost a hand she bet all in on. Hey Paulina, look what I found, last year's uniforms, Star said as she saw something in Paulina's closet and saw the smaller outfits. Well, we are his favorite cheerleaders, Paulina said as she took one while Star took the other. Naruto and the two girls had the best cheerleading practice session ever. Didn't I tell you to be quiet? Naruto said slapping her ass. I'm sorry, Star said moaning as she felt Naruto's juices slide down her legs. It's okay, no girl can hold back their moans or screams when I pound them. Naruto said with a grin as he rubbed her ass. My turn, Paulina said happily. It's your birthday, so you can do all you want. Just say it, and I'll do it, Naruto said. I want to see how much of my body can take. I want to feel my body get destroyed as well as my mind. I want you to break me, Paulina said as she wanted this day to be engraved in her mind for the rest of her life. Let's start with your ass, then work our way up, Naruto said as he began. That's it, baby, take my body, make it yours, Paulina thought, happy he wasn't even asking her or warning her. Screw the meteor shower, I'm going to do you until morning. Thankfully today is Friday, Naruto said with a smirk. I'll die, Paulina thought as she got wet from the idea of him riding her for days. The next day, Naruto was pounding Paulina's ass as he had her laying on the bed and had her head in a hold as he laid on her back. His stomach bloated from how many times he did her as her body was white drpping and doing her one final time. See me, Star, clean her up and have mine, Naruto said as Star eagerly ate from both Paulina's happy birthday. He said to mind-broken Paulina before he left. Best birthday ever, Paulina thought slowly as her mind was flooded with pleasure and hoped the next birthday was exactly like this one. Few days later. What the F is the deal with these bugs? Valerie asked as she was blasting as many as she could. What I want to know is what are they doing, Naruto asked as they weren't attacking students but were stalking the Halfa team. Oh, these things are worse than mosquitoes, Paulina said as she hated insects. Why the fuck are you not being attacked? Ember asked Tucker. And why do you smell like motor oil and dirty laundry? Kitty asked as she pinched her nose closed. Foley by Tucker, Foley, Tucker said proudly. No wonder the bugs aren't going to you, you smell appalling, Star said backing away. With Desiree in her office. I swear these things are even more annoying than regular bugs, Desiree said as she was glad she had the school closed for this. I wonder why so many though, Maddie said as she was looking at an insect they caught and handed to her for study. Oh, damn it, Spectra said as one bit her. Why the hell did it bite you? Desiree asked as all the bugs had yet to bite someone and the last person she thought it'd bite would be Spectra considering she was a ghost. How should I ugh? Spectra was saying before she suddenly felt weak. Be glad it was only one, Desiree said to her, as then a few of the insects merged making 3 basketball-sized mosquitoes. Maddie took out a blaster acting on instinct and shot one. Desiree blasted the other with wind cutting it to shreds, but Spectra missed hers and it stabbed her in her midsection, but instead of sucking her fluids out it injected fluids into her. Spectra, Desiree and Maddie said as Spectra fell and they shot the remaining bug. Few minutes later. Okay, how do we stop this? Another transfusion, Danny asked as this was similar to when Jazz was poisoned. She's a full ghost. How does that work? Maddie asked in scientific curiosity. It won't. Only reason it worked on Jazz was because we had Danny's cells since they were a close enough match to her. Spectra has no blood relative here, and even if she did we either killed or sent those things back to the ghost zone, Naruto said as this was tricky. Then what do we do? Have Desiree use her magic or something? Ember asked them. Wish backlash, Desiree said as she might have done more harm than good. Then what can we do? We can't just stand back and watch this, Valerie said as Spectra was groaning in pain. We can't make an antidote as all those bugs are gone, Star said. We need someone who knows Spectra, Naruto said, making them all confused. A for what? Tucker asked curiously. Spectra isn't like other ghosts, she feeds off negative emotions like I did with Cheers. It gave us power, Ember said as Spectra got youth and power while she got power. But didn't she make a wish to feed off of positive emotions? Danny asked curiously. Not exactly, Desiree said as she remembered the wish where Spectra wished to feed on lust. Okay, we need to find someone who knows Spectra, maybe her unique ghost nature is the key, Naruto said to them. And who knows her besides us? Sam asked curiously. Bertrand? Jazz said as she still wanted to beat the butler-like ghost to a bloody pulp for almost killing her. But how? Nobody has seen him ever since Naruto beat him into goo, Kitty said as Spectra left that wannabe butler. Well, it's a good thing we know a ghost whose specialty is tracking. Now is it? Naruto said with a grin. Later in the ghost zone. Wolf and Kujo were currently sniffing out a wooded area where Naruto fought Bertrand last. Anything? Naruto asked the werewolf ghost. No, the scent has gone cold. He has not been here for a long time, Wolf said as he and Kujo weren't getting anything. Well, that's just great, Danny said. There's a bar around here, worth a try. Ember said as she visited there frequently as there was not much else to do in the ghost zone. 15 minutes later. You have got to be kidding me. Naruto said as they found Bertrand, who looked like he was both drunk and overly emotional as he cried into the bar. Oh, it's you. I'm not done yet, so go. Aw, burp, Bertrand said, clearly a sad type of person when drunk. Bertrand, we need your help, Ember said. Don't we all? You finally meet the one and then boom, they leave you, broken and burp, sad and all alone. They take away everything worth meaning in your life with burp them. Bertrand said. How long has he been here? Naruto asked the owner. Months. Poor guy has a broken heart and doesn't have anything worth doing. The ghost behind the bar said, Can you take him? He's a good customer, but he's not good for morale, he said to him. Ha, ha, look at me, I can fly. Hey, watch it, I'm driving here. I miss my Spectra, Bertrand said as they picked Bertrand up and took him outside as the poor guy was in a mix of different emotions. I wanted to beat him, but this is even more painful, Jazz said as she almost felt bad. Bertrand's form began going all over the place in his drunken state. Okay, we can rule him out being our suspect, Danny said as this was pathetic. Hey, give me back my bugs, they're all I have to remember Spectra by, Bertrand said before sobbing as he floated around like a balloon. Bugs? Naruto asked the bartender. Yeah, he's been creating them like crazy before some jackass took them from him, the bartender said. Come on, George, you're my brother, don't do this to me, Bertrand said, still drunk. This jackass in any way, did he look like Dracula? Naruto asked him. Oh yeah, he said something about dealing with traitors and a big plan, the bartender said. Vlad must have thought the bugs would have gone after you, Jazz said to him. Daisy, give me your answer due, Bertrand said, still whacked out of his mind. Wow, I've dreamed of being that drunk, Ember said, slightly impressed. Vlad must have taken advantage of Bertrand's drunken state to trick him into making these bugs, Naruto said to them. Now that's cold, taking advantage of someone who's lost everything, Danny said as she felt sick to her stomach the more she heard about Vlad. How long does he usually stay drunk? Jazz asked, wanting to know when he'd be coherent. Give it a moment, some ghosts lose that faster than most, the bartender said. And the joyous buzz is gone, Bertrand said sadly. Okay, idiot, what's the antidote to those bugs? Naruto said, angrily glaring at the scared butler. Ah, don't hurt me, Bertrand said in fear. The bugs? Danny said, simply getting the gears in Bertrand's mind to turn. Bugs? What bugs? I don't, oh my god, Bertrand said as everything started coming back to him. Where is the antidote? Spectra is dying, Bertrand, Naruto said in urgency. At Vlad's lab, follow me, Bertrand said, flying off with a pissed off look on his face. You think this was some weird-ass way to call us? Danny asked them curiously. Probably. The only thing I know is that Bertrand may not have Spectra anymore, but apparently he still cares about her, Naruto said as he could feel Bertrand's emotions. 10 minutes later. The group arrived at what they believed to be Vlad's portal, entranced, and saw Bertrand's shape shifting into different things trying to break it open. Wow, and I thought I could get mad, Naruto said, slightly impressed. Vlad, when I get my hands on you, Bertrand said, furious. Whoa, easy there, buddy. You just charge in at him like this, he'll tear you apart, Naruto said to him before they got the portal open. Okay, this is too easy, Danny said as she saw a vial labeled antidote. Either he's an idiot or this is a trap setup, she said, as that was what it usually was. GRR, where is he? Bertrand said, wanting to beat the shit out of Vlad. Usually, this is the part where he shows up and starts monologuing his big plan and says something about my dad, Danny said. Or he uses something to capture us and then starts monologuing. Naruto said, as this was a little off topic of Vlad, as he was predictable with the occasional surprise. Well, thankfully we have a scientist with us who can tell if this is actually an antidote. Ember said, looking at Naruto. Danny went to a nearby microscope and analyzed the contents of a drop from the vial. No hidden poisons or anything like that, she said. There's no way Vlad is just letting us take that. He's up to something. Naruto said, looking around the lab. Maybe he didn't expect us to come here and wanted to trade for the vial, Jazz said as the scened up Vlad's alley. Well, if that's so, then where the hell is he? Danny asked as there were no alarms going off. If this can help her, then let's take it. Bertrand said simply. You're acting surprisingly heroic for someone who nearly killed me, Jazz said, glaring at him. I've had a long time to think. I may miss Spectra as she was my everything. But if being with the humans makes her happy, then I'll accept it. Then after this I'll just go back to that bar, wasting away my afterlife drinking the pain and loneliness away. Bertrand said sadly. Your obsession was her? Naruto asked him. Yes, and without that I have nothing, Bertrand said sadly. That's sad, the heroes thought. A ghost without an obsession. Nothing is more sadder than that, Vlad said, walking down the stairs in his robes. Are you getting out of bed? It's past noon, Naruto asked, and noticed Vlad had some bruises. This is my bathrobe first of all, Vlad said to him. What happened to you? Naruto asked him curiously, seeing a giant cut on his leg. Vlad actually shivered, remembering the ghost monster that tried to eat him. The ghost animals. That's not just it. Your wrists are slit. Were you trying to kill yourself? Danny asked him. You took my obsession away from me. Can you blame me? Vlad said, hiding the fact he actually stole a certain key from a certain guardian ghost. You're not suicidal. You're too proud and strong for that, so something else happened, Naruto said as the gashes on his wrists didn't look self-inflicted. Okay, fine, I did something and pissed a ghost off, so I was taking a nice relaxing warm bubble bath to heal when you all showed up, Vlad said as he didn't expect them to come here so fast. You pissed off the behemoth, didn't you? Naruto asked with a grin. Oh man, no one outsmarts the behemoth, he said. Yes, the giant red multi-armed thing got in some good hits before I sent it running, Vlad said, sorely rubbing his shoulder. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to my bubble bath in peace. Take your cure and go, he said, wanting them to leave as he didn't have the patience or the energy to fight them, as he thought it had taken them a day to get here. What's the catch? Naruto asked him curiously. The catch is leave before I change my mind, Vlad said simply. Let's go, you all, Naruto said to them. Get that thing to Spectra and tell her I'm sorry. If any of you need me, you know where to find me, Bertrand said as he flew off in the direction of the bar they were at. 20 minutes later. What do you mean it's not working? Naruto asked Maddie as they injected Spectra with the cure. It's not strong enough, we need more energy in her, Maddie said to him. Here comes the part where she becomes a halfa, Danny said, knowing this is usually when they make someone a halfa. Hold on, let me add some of my ecto energy while this happens, Naruto said as he placed his hand on her chest and channeled some ecto energy into her as he then brought out the orb of his life force. Told you, Danny said as she called it. How much is left in that thing anyway? She asked curiously. I don't know, enough to make somewhere around 5 ghosts human, more or less, Naruto said as he actually had zero clue about it. Well, let's get it on, Danny said to him. Naruto channeled his life force and ecto energy into Spectra and was surprised when there was a bright explosion. Is everyone still their definition of alive? Maddie asked as she brushed rubble off of her. Yeah, was the response of many. I think you mean oh yes, Spectra said loudly as she burst through the rubble wearing a black and green dominatrix-like outfit. Bad Kool-Aid man joke, Naruto said to her as he checked out her new outfit. Like this? Spectra asked him teasingly. Or this, she said, changing back to human. Oh, so you are a halfa, congrats, Danny said a little sore. Your ghost name gonna be Spectra or you got something new? She asked as Spectra's name could be her ghost name as her first actual name was Penelope. I got nothing, Spectra said to her. Half an hour later. Poor Bertrand, Spectra said, feeling sorry for her old butler friend. Yeah, the guy really has hit rock bottom, Ember said, as that was hard to watch for a ghost to be like that. Jazz chose not to say anything as he was still her would-be murderer. Let's just move on, Naruto said, as it was that simple. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 5. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and authors pyrohelixdrago, KFB, Anime 87 and Spike Tanked Master 300 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.